My neighbor, 45, calls the cops on me for playing music too loud at 7 p.m. This happened 2 nights ago. So I was having dinner with my wife while listening to some music. She likes pop music, so that's what we were playing. Nothing too intense or loud. Just some stuff by Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift. It was about 6:30 p.m. around the time of sunset here in Phoenix. My neighbors had already started coming home from work so they could start their evening routines. One of them was out in his backyard tending to something, another was in her garage, and the third was inside watching TV. As it got closer to 7 p.m., my wife said she was going to go run errands since she hadn't gone shopping yet. Before she left, she told me not to play anything too loud because she didn't want to disturb our neighbors. I nodded and she headed off. After she left, I decided to listen to some more songs before heading into the house. When you get older, you realize how much better your hearing gets, especially after being in an environment where noise is always present. For example, my friends who live near the highway have told me they don't notice the cars anymore even though it's directly outside their window. The song was Thank You, Next by Ariana Grande. I was singing along to it and wasn't paying attention to how loud it was. That is, until my neighbor comes storming out of her house and starts yelling at me through the fence that I need to turn down the music. I apologize and tell her that I'll turn it down, but she keeps yelling and tells me I need to stop playing music altogether. I call my wife to see if she can talk to her, but she just yells back that she doesn't care and leaves. I look up to see my other neighbors staring over at us looking annoyed. I apologize again and tell them it won't happen again. They seem fine, so I just leave it alone and head inside. The next morning, I'm getting ready for work when my neighbor comes knocking on the door. She says she wanted to come over and apologize for what she did last night. We both talk for a bit and I ask her why she yelled at me for playing music. She says she has anxiety and can't sleep because there's a lot of noise in her neighborhood. I say sorry again and try to make amends. She then proceeds to ask me what I was doing yesterday afternoon. I tell her I went grocery shopping. She asks if I saw any signs telling people to park on the opposite side of the street, and I tell her no. She nods and says thanks. At this point, I'm starting to think she's making fun of me and try to change the subject. She asks if I noticed any construction on the road yesterday, and I tell her yes. Then she asks if I saw the police officer directing traffic. I say yes. At this point, I'm starting to feel like I'm missing some joke. She says she wants to thank me for being such a good citizen and helping keep the community safe. I'm confused now. She thanks me again and heads back across the yard. As I watch her walk away, I start to realize what happened last night. My neighbor called the cops on me for playing music too loudly at 7 p.m. The cop was the one directing traffic on the street yesterday, and I must have distracted him from stopping her. I'm shocked and honestly very angry. I call my wife at work and tell her what happened. She thinks it's hilarious, and I agree. She says I should have told her that she was the one who called the cops on me, and we laugh about it.